Hello and welcome to another video. I am super excited about this particular video today. It is the pinnacle of two different series that I just put out. The one is 18 reasons why your website is failing, and then I put another series out here recently that is 3 parts, and it covers the reasons why you're killing your brand. And so this is going to be an example of both of those. We're going to see some cardinal sins across this particular website, and this is definitely not what I was expecting. So if you are not familiar with the channel, again, my name is Tom Batman Ziegelbauer, and I help businesses and entrepreneurs grow their businesses through the use of technology. So we're just going to get after it. It was announced today that the former President Trump has now launched his personal brand or his personal website. And so I thought I would go there and see lots of great things, and I was horrified to see who you'll see who developed it here. I'll point them out. I think it's important to point out the guilty in this case. How many just fundamental cardinal sins from a usability standpoint, from a performance standpoint, from an SEO standpoint, that are just like, man, are you living like 10 years ago? So let's just get after it. I'm going to share my screen with you, and this is the website here. I'll just kind of scroll through it. So there's a number of things. I'll go to a kind of full screen on this as well to show you some of the errors. The first cardinal sin on this is the loading speed. So the first time I came to this website, I'm on a gigabit connection, so like I can download movies in like full HD movies, Blu-ray quality and above, in like about 2 minutes. And this thing took 12 seconds to load on my gigabit connection. Now I have my developer tools up here inside of Chrome, and I've disabled the cache, and I've throttled the performance to 4G, and so we don't have to wait through all of it. It has a number of graphics that are in this slideshow, and in the slideshow, one, there's like way too many photos. Two, they are big. If you take a look at this top one, it took, first of all, almost a quarter of a second, well, 3/4 of a second to load, and then it took 4.1 seconds to load here, plus all of these other ones, you know, coming in. So this is a huge issue when it comes to search engine ranking position. Load times are a super duper indicator or metric that Google uses in order to rank you. So ding, number one, poor performance in terms of your loading speed. Second is, I'm just going to close this down. This is a usability issue. So I'm seeing lots of pretty photos. We talked about this in the loading speed and this here. Where is the call to action? There is none. There is no call to action. So this is a cardinal sin. Above the fold, you want to have some sort of a call to action here. And maybe then that brings us to our next point, is poor navigation. This is from about 7 years ago, 7 to 10 years ago. Why, oh why, we've talked about this before, do we have home in the navigation? This makes no sense. Everybody knows I can click on this and it takes me to the home page. Ta-da! Rocket science, right? Please, if you're developing a website, remove home from your navigation. You do not need it. Now let's place things in our navigation that are most important to least important. So our about is our most important, according to this. So I come in here, that's back to that same cardinal sin. Where is the call to action on this? Okay, let's scroll down the page and find it. Not seeing it. Not seeing it. it doesn't exist. No call to action on this page. Now, I will give it, if you go back to the home page where we find the call to action, there is actually one here where it says contact us. So that's fine. We'll get into that error in a little bit. So then this contact is the same as this. The site is basically only 6 pages. And so let's then talk about this graphic up here. So this is something called an SVG, or a scalable vector graphic. PDFs PDFs, if you open them up, if you've ever increased the zoom level on a particular page, you'll notice that the text and fonts are really super smooth, and so it's using something called SVG, or these scalable vector graphics, in order to be able to display that text nice no matter how big or how small you do it. And a lot of the images also will scale super nice, like back and forth. Well, this is an SVG. Check out, I don't know if you can see that in the recording of this, these circles should be absolutely no like little jagged lines in them whatsoever, and it's horrible. Look at the font on his name too. This should be super smooth, and it's awful. It's just so bad. So if you're going to use an SVG or a scalable vector graphic, make sure that it actually was properly created. This is super horrible. Okay, let's talk about this contact page. Okay, I come to here. What is the problem? Yep, we mentioned it before. No call to action anywhere in here. And look at what I'm looking at above the fold. This is an opportunity to have something up here. Also, another problem when because we are a mobile first indexing now from an SEO standpoint, meaning that Google is going to come in and take a look at your site as if it was mobile. There's nothing up here to no information, nothing. No H1s, no nothing. So, okay, so we come in here. I'm going to run through this really quickly as we do that's bad usability. Like, why should I have a title that's that long? Like, whoever designed these forms. Look at this. My organization could be this long. What? Oh, I can't wait to submit this. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh, it does this reCAPTCHA thing. So it will basically time out, but I'm going to show you. This is just a hacker's wet dream here in a second. So we're going to speed through this. There's no filtering on the phone. I wonder if I can try to submit it with an out and at. I haven't tried that one yet. none@none.com. Comments. Worst form ever. Okay, so I'm not a robot. Where's all the sort of security that I'm not a robot? There's lots of QA tools that are out here, and this site is just gonna get hammered with stuff like this over and over and over again. So bad. I'm gonna click send. Oh, it actually does have that. So I'll just put an @ symbol wherever. I wonder if I can put it right here. Probably can. Oh, that's impressive. All right. I've submitted like 5 or 6 of these things and they just go through. Like, there's no check. So there's another thing. Make sure that your forms are properly done. All right. This particular graphic is a custom graphic. I found that through the terms and conditions is This OFP, which is designated in here, says that you may not use this particular icon because it is solely they own the rights to that, so I can't use this because this is a custom graphic. There's actually some information out there on Reddit that I was reading that they modified this seal because they can't use the actual seal of the president anymore. And then there's some kind of kludgy stuff in terms of this particular graphic in terms of how it was actually done. Maybe we can use that as another video. So remove the home. This is awful. The contact page is awful. Press, I haven't even taken a look at this one yet. So press inquiries, same type of a form, and I could submit this if I just filled out the required fields somewhat the way I'm supposed to. Okay, so now let's get into some of the meat and potatoes in terms of the technical SEO of their website. So I did an audit. We use a tool called SEO Optimer, and we can white label these reports. We do this for our clients a lot. So, oh, a D+, surprise, surprise. So let's just review some of the bigger pieces of this. Title tag is okay, between 10 and 70 characters, and we're at like 29. Loss of an opportunity here. Definitely could lengthen the title out of that. No meta description tags, so they're just leaving it up to the search engines in order to provide a description for the homepage. It does have an H1 and an H2, which is good. More opportunities for meta tags in here. Keyword consistency is okay. Again, however, no meta description tags, so it's not having the ability to work off of the title and the meta description tag in terms of search engine optimization. Phrases is pretty weak. You can tell what they're targeting is the person. Amount of content. This is another cardinal sin. Look at this word count, 141. I talk about this in another video where if you don't have about 300 words on a page, it can be considered thin content, which means that your page, actually his site in total, could just be like there's not enough content there and could be delisted from Google. As an example, the good news is there's no index tag there, meaning that the search engine should come through and index the site. It is SSL enabled. That was good. Here's two like really awkward things. I have no idea why they're doing this. Robots text. So there's certain robots or spiders, search engines of things that you don't want to have come into your site or blocking certain parts of your site. Here, it's odd that you don't have a robots text file here to tell them what you can do and what you can't do. Also, usually inside of the robots text files is a pointer to your XML sitemap, which allows your search engines to come through your site and spider it more efficiently. There's no XML sitemap, so there's can't be a pointer here. It doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. It's interesting that they do have Google Analytics running. They don't have these though, so they're, I guess, just interested in numbers. How many people actually visited this horrible site? No schema on the site. That also indicates like what type of site it is and how that data should be fed back up to the search engines in order to help improve the rankings. Yeah, just weird again in terms of the keywords that are showing up. Nothing out there. Links, nothing. No backlinks to this site yet. It's new, so they're just starting out, so that's also okay. Online on-page link structure, there's really, it's all internal. There's nothing external out there. Usability is pretty good on this. I did notice, especially on the mobile side, you have some of the text that will overrun depending on what type of device that you have. Legible font sizes. This is a typical thing that I see where your font sizes are too small. Performance, horrible in terms of the server response. All page loaded, 2.5 seconds. I think it's actually much longer than that. Anything outside of 4 seconds, like I said the first time I loaded this, and I'm on a super fast one, it was over 12 seconds to load it, and then all scripts complete. So we want to keep this again underneath this 8 seconds here. So this says we're doing okay. However, this is another cardinal sin. Your total page size. Why is the homepage so large? We have way too many slides, way too many graphics there. And if we take a look at that breakdown, your images are the bulk of what the page size is, and these aren't optimized whatsoever. So let's see if there's anything else. Social needs improvement. I feel bad. Like, he doesn't have a Twitter account anymore. He doesn't have a Facebook page. He's been basically kicked off of all social media. So this is, of course, going to draw all of this down for him. So he is using Cloudflare, or the developers were using Cloudflare for a CDN. That's a good thing. This is all pretty standard here and good. So high priority, execute a link building strategy. Yes, some people should probably link to him. That would be a good thing. On page SEO, there's no meta description tag. Implement the XML sitemap in order to allow search engines to actually come in and spider the site. Maybe that's part of it too. Maybe they haven't submitted this up to Google to index and they're just hoping it will be found. So maybe that's another critical thing, which is why like, even if you're doing a search for some of these keywords, they're not showing up. I'd be surprised if, even given some of the search criteria, some of the keywords that they have, if they even show up on page 1 with this site. So these are the guys who built this site. So I'm taking a look at them. What do? They build sites for campaigns, essentially. Scalable for campaigns, big and small, local districts, races to presidential. If you use these guys after all of this, oh my gosh, horrible, and shame on you. Even their website is just, I could spend a whole nother video going over how horrible from a usability standpoint this is as well. Definitely not looking for any Democrats to use their services. Maybe there's something else behind this and why they built this 45 office. So, man, we went through a bunch of stuff for this video. Definitely getting into it, I didn't realize that there were so many cardinal sins that were happening on this particular site when I was getting into it. So hopefully you have learned a number of things not to do for your particular website. If you did receive value from this and think that you can also take some of these simple things and avoid them for your web presence, awesome. Please hit that like, subscribe, and alert button down at the bottom of these pages so you can be alerted of additional videos that are coming out here. And remember, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care, and I will see you next time. Have a great day. Thanks for watching the video.